Hello there, my name's Embryo. I was just going to talk about a little bit about Wuthering Waves today. I've been playing it for the past well, almost 12 hours. So far, I'm really enjoying it. I love the combat system. One thing that I find really distinctive is using three characters instead of the traditional four. Um, the glide mechanic. I love the glide mechanic in this game. For one, it feels faster than pretty much any of the competitors that I've played. Um, and I've noticed when you're gliding and you let go, it kind of pushes you forward, which I absolutely love. Because there's been so many times when I've been using a glider in different games and I was flying, and then I'd get to the last little bit, run out of stamina, and fall about 2 feet short. As an angel, I'm very well versed in flying, so yeah, when you fall to your death because of glider malfunction, it's pretty embarrassing. Um, so there's a couple other things that I wanted to mention. Um, Mainly the map. I am really surprised with how much of the map we get from the first patch. Um, I've been working pretty much all night trying to uncover a lot of the teleporters, a lot of the echoes. So far, I'm not even close. Like, look, there's this whole area down here I still haven't been able to get to. Um, it's a lot, which I'm really ecstatic for because, certain games when they release, it's very limited. They really kind of confine where you can go for the first patch or so. In terms of the actual plot, I am really enjoying the plot. I did just get to Union level 14, so I can progress. I'm not going to do any spoilers, show any footage of the plot for those um, who may have not had the chance to play it yet. But so far, it is really quite enthralling, actually. There's definitely some characters like the main character really shines. Um, I don't like that they did the same trope where she doesn't talk, but then she talks and you're like, wait, who's that talking? Oh, it's me. I wish she would have a little bit more of a presence, but when she has a presence, it's very noticeable, and I like her backstory. I like the aesthetic for her outfit. She looks like a main character. That's one thing I was talking to my friends on Discord last night about. She actually looks the part. When you're thinking of a main character, like, okay, so I'm a published author. I've written 2 books, and one of the main features when describing a character and you want them to really stand out is their eyes. Eyes is the gateway to the soul, as a lot of people say. So when her eyes pop in the very beginning, because they're pretty distinctive, they're like bright, very bright. Whereas theirs are a little bit toned down. She also has very distinct eyes, which I love. Um, but yeah, so she feels like a main character. I've been playing her a good bit. I've leveled her up to 40, got her a pretty decent sword from the gacha. I have not spent any money, nor do I plan to. Um, I've been catching echoes like crazy. I love the tortoise. It does take forever, but I do enjoy it. The UI. I love the UI. I love it so much. Not only is it clean, it feels like a step up. So a lot of the other games that I've been pseudo mentioning, it felt clunky. It felt like the transition from like one character to the other wasn't instantaneous. But all these characters, they have their own poses. She is my favorite. This character, Chisha. I don't know how to pronounce her name, but when I do, I will pronounce it and name her my favorite character. um, the different names don't really bother me. I generally really like unique names. Um, so yeah, I quite enjoy that. All their skills feel complementary to each other so far. Um, One thing I will say, I'm getting a lot of Tower Fantasy flashbacks while playing this game. So much so that I literally last night booted it up because I was like, this makes me. I'm done in Wuthering Waves for now. I'm at a stopping point. Let me boot up Tower Fantasy. That way I can have the similar experience and still progress. Um, because the world, if they plop this down in Tower Fantasy, it would look right at home. Actually, I'm pretty sure there is a scene just like this where there's a bridge that goes up like that. It's broken. Um, and the camp system. I mean, the camp system is pretty familiar with all the other different um, gotcha games. But the way that this one is structured, it feels a little bit more free roamy. Whereas the Hilly Turtles are like, okay, they're at this spot, they're, you know, super weak, for one. Um, yeah, not really too much to say on that. One of the main criticisms I was having last night was, I wish there was parts in this game that were really dynamically bright and then dynamically dark. You know, I really want the contrast. And then I walked into some of these areas and I was like, oh, look, it's bright. So, I mean, it was just the time of day that I was playing. Um, but yeah, so far, it's a really wonderful game. I really enjoy it. The stamina is something that other gotchas can learn from. The way that they handle stamina in this game. The fact that you can run without using stamina. Absolute win in my book. The fact that you can run up walls and use just a little bit of stamina. Absolutely love it. I was talking about Tower of Fantasy. The grapple hook feels very familiar. It feels like a copy paste for me. But I love how in the center of the city, how they incorporated it. This Tower of Fantasy, it was like, yeah, you get a grappling hook. However, you have to have like a minute to recharge it every time you use it. So it was very restrictive. There's upgrades, of course, that can reduce that. But say, like, I'm walking downtown and I want to travel. Look at that. I'm all the way over here now. Oh, I actually missed that. Oh, there's another one over here. No worries. I'm just Spider-Man all over the place. Inner city movement is top tier. I really enjoy this. Being able to just go wherever I want super quickly and not really have to worry about climbing up the sides of buildings and stuff like that. Speaking of, one of the main things that irks me in Genshin Impact specifically is when you're climbing up something and it has a ledge that goes over your head. Like, let's see if I can find one. There was like a bunch of camps that had it. Oh, okay, so like here. Genshin, you would not be able to climb up this. I also cannot climb up this because I'm bad at climbing. Okay, this is a bad example. But yeah, she climbs up it. This is a horrible example. I'm so sorry. Let me see if I can find an actual tower. I may have to cut this. That's not where I meant to go. Here's a tower. Let me try over here. So, you can pole vault over some of the tower stuff. Okay, here's the tower. Oh, here's what I was saying with it being nice and pretty and dynamically bright. I didn't see this area when I was talking about it. So now it's like, wow, this is really bright and colorful. The colors still feel muted, but it's not as bad as I've seen some other games do. Okay. Like here. Of course, when I'm looking to find it, I'm not going to be able to find it. Yeah, so basically, if there's like a ledge over top of you and you're trying to climb over it, you can pole vault over it. I'm still not doing it. It's in here. I promise you it's in here. My goodness. I didn't think it'd be so hard to find. I only saw it like 2 or 3 times last night. And I was like, whoa! I can't believe we could do that. Oh, I should regain stamina before going over. Oops. Also, the regain of stamina, top tier. Oh, I see one. Like I regen stamina, and it's okay. I see one. I am really interested to see if, well, not if, when we get swimming mechanics in this game. Okay, yeah, I think this is where I saw it last night. So I was doing a mission and it was like climb into the guard tower and I was like, how? I mean, obviously there's a ladder, of course. There we go, like that. Okay, I didn't do it all the way. There we go.
Cherish every gain.
Oh, so there's a chest here. But yeah, so you can like flip over it and it doesn't push you off, doesn't make you fall to your death or anything like that. I am so enthralled with that.
I sense your weakness. I'm coming in hot. Watch and learn. Think you can catch up?
I love this character so much. Her kit feels very refreshing.
Oh, please have something good this time.
Scenery, beautiful. The opening, amazing. I really felt like I was being isekai'd into a different world. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, the rewards. I did want to talk about the rewards. Can we talk about this? The amount of stuff they've been giving us. Because they know that their game is having issues. I mean, every game is going to have issues when it releases. So not only did they fully admit to all of them, but they're like, hey, by the way, these are all the issues that we've been receiving. Oh, we're going to fix them. Here's some compensation while we fix them. I remember when Genshin first came out, they had something similar to this. And maybe we got primos, but it was definitely not a full 10 pull. And I don't think they went into specifics. Tower Fantasy also did not go into specifics. It was pretty general. Oh, I also wanted to talk about the convene feature. The banners. So far, I've gotten 2 5-stars. Kacharo and Yin Yang, Ling Lang. I don't remember how to pronounce his name. The little lion boy. That's what I'll call him. Banners look 3-dimensional almost, because not only is the character painted, but you see all the stuff happening in the background. It has depth. It's a full scene. Whereas, like, other games like Genshin Impact, it's like a PNG pasted on top of something, and it looks very flat. Weapons. I'm not going to wish on a weapon banner, but I will say these weapons so far look very pretty. I think they could have done a little bit more dynamic designs with them, but if it's a matching set, I think they all match pretty well, and they all look like they have the same effects, which they do. Now the pity system and everything in this game, it's pretty on par with what you would expect. I do like this right here, that it will tell you you're guaranteed is within the next 60 pulls. Whereas Genshin Impact is like, go count it yourself. Tower Fantasy does keep track. Honkai Impact 3rd keeps track. Yeah, that part really amused me. I've done a bunch of wishes on the standard banner. Just because I wanted to see what kind of 4-stars I would get. And honestly, it's a lot of weapons. There's been a lot of 10 pulls that I've done in this game where it's just oops all weapons. So maybe we need to fine-tune that system. That does happen in Genshin, but not nearly as often. It does happen in Tower Fantasy as well. We'll be pretty open about that. The team making mechanic, I also enjoy. I like how they have the shimmer that goes across. It makes everything feel fresh. And it feels easy to access what your characters do, and it's easily, oh my gosh, it is pretty well explained. They go into detail about it. They say, this is what's happening with this character. This is what they do when they switch out. I was in the fire area last night because obviously I needed a place to call home. So I needed to bring my healer, even though she's level 1. She's still healed a little bit. Enough for me to get in and out and fight the boss. Honestly, that's pretty much it for right now. Day 1 impressions. If I had to put numbers to everything... Oops, I did not actually mean to interrupt her. If I had to put numbers to everything, I would say the design of the overall game, like general sense, I'd put it at like an 8 or a 9 out of 10. It's not perfect. It has some flaws, but it's a really good foundation. Patches and stuff like that, hot fixes, once they get the user experience a little bit up, the plot is really good. I felt like I wanted to know more.
Everyone's safe and sound? Looks like I didn't practice for nothing then.
With the plot, it's important for character development. Like, you need to feel like there's questions. You want to know where the person comes from. You want to know what's going on. The city was flushed out. The as I was walking around the city, I felt like everything was well flushed out. They had unique concepts, cultural differences. Uh, I've noticed quite a few voice actors in this game have different accents, and not just like a little bit. Like, they're very very distinctive. Um, Now, when I saw them, I was like, they don't look the part, but I understand that they're probably not from here. They're probably from, a couple hours away or whatever. They have their own culture. And that's what this feels like. It feels like they have their own culture here. Everything is pretty open. Um,
Think you can catch up?
like, they were like, oh yeah, we're doing line dancing festivals. That's really pretty unique. Um, yeah, overall, I love this game. Character design, I would also rate this pretty high, 8 or 9 out of 10. All the characters, from the intro screen to when you look at them to summoning, the summoning looks really dynamic. Um, to their actual just gameplay, I love the switch out skills. That was one of my favorite things in Tower of Fantasy, which I'm glad they transferred over. Because there was a lot of characters that I would do a swap out, and it was like this big burst of damage, and I felt strong coming onto the battlefield with this character. Like, this is my favorite character. I'm switching onto them. There's this big burst to let everyone know that character's on the field. I love that. Um, yeah, and I enjoy that the characters, they'll light up when that's ready. Honestly, I was trying to think of things that I 100% want them to improve on. The fluidity of colors, I would like to see a little bit more of that. Uh, I said that wrong. The dynamicy of colors. I would like to see brighter brights, darker darks.
Anytime.
The antagonist. I love the antagonist. Scar. When we do meet him, yeah. My first impression was Bond from Seven Deadly Sins, and he's one of my favorite characters. I love his personality. I love manic smiles. I also love the way that he did the storytelling. I'm not going to spoil it, but the way that they conveyed it was really nice.
Everyone's safe and sound? Looks like I didn't practice for nothing then.
I did notice a couple things. This is for, like, login. When you log in, it doesn't remember your login. You have to remember every time. You have to completely enter all your information over again. So that's a little tedious. I did kind of almost lock myself out because I forgot my initial email. So
Everyone's safe and sound?
that is
Looks
something
like
to
I
keep
didn't
in
practice
mind.
for
Maybe
nothing
have
then.
something that would remember that. What was the other thing that let me look at my notes here. There was one other thing. Let me find it. Oh. I love the trophy system. Oh, the echoes! I wanted to talk about the echoes. So for echoes, when you're capturing them, I wish there was more to the capturing process. Like, I get that you could just, you beat them. Sometimes it'll drop a little echo, and you can try and catch it. I want there to be like a probability. Like, make it for all of them. and make it like a probability. Like you throw your I forget what it's called. Essentially your bank at them. I want it to shake. I want it to do the animation, or I want it to like absorb it and then jumps out, but it's at like a quarter health. You got to fight it again. I think that would be pretty interesting, and I mean, you know, pretty similar to other catching games. Just a little bit more with that, because I feel like the data collection of the echoes is a little too easy. I would like a little bit more challenge with that. Just maybe make it a little bit more either random or difficult. I'm not quite sure. Something a little bit more. Oh, you know what could really work? If so you're capturing an echo and it comes up with like an encryption. Okay, so like it's like, okay, you have to do like WASD, left click, right click, but you have to do it in like a certain pattern, like a combo. But if you get the combo wrong, it jumps out and you fight it again. And then you keep doing it. And the tougher ones have harder combos that you gotta do. This is just me spitballing an idea. I just think it'd be pretty fun. Little way to add difficulty to it. So yeah, honestly, that's pretty much all I got to say for Wuthering Waves Day One. First impressions. I love this game. I would love to become a content creator for it. Alrighty, everyone. I will see you in the next clip.